Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are having a fantastic July. We're going to have an update on Stellar right now, and we're going to get into some new information. They got a couple things coming up, and they have some big announcements that just got put out. So let's go ahead and get into this mix. Speaking at Meridian 2023, you have Diego Molina, you have Todd Lepant. He is the founder of FutureFin, and a couple other people. I don't know why Idris Alba is here. Maybe he's going to be speaking at the event as well, but they do have a lot of amazing things coming up on the Stellar community. All right, so this is Danelle Dixon talking about the ruling on XRP. Let's take a look.
People are curious about and how this impacts Stellar in any way. Danelle, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I think more importantly, not just Stellar, I want to talk a little bit about how it impacts the industry. I think that what we've been waiting for in the industry, and frankly, what even lawmakers have been waiting for in the US and abroad, is some clarity around things. And we've had a lot of activity with respect to the SEC in the US, and that's created, I think, some confusion on a global basis about how to view these kinds of digital assets. And I think the most important thing about that ruling is the fact that it was very clear that a digital asset in and of itself, just the digital asset, is not a security. There has to be more that can turn it into a security, and clearly you can do. Like you can transform this digital asset into a security if there's investment contracts and things that you pull together to be able to make it so. But the digital asset itself is not. That is just a huge piece of clarity to have in this ecosystem and in this industry, not just domestically but also internationally. So I think that the ruling is very articulate, it's very clear, and I think the steps with which the judge, with Judge Torres, went through the analysis was really awesome for the kind of things that we need to see here. I think it actually is going to impact even some of the legislation that was being talked about and discussed here in the US, and that was market structure legislation. And so I think that, for Stellar, for any layer one out there, for anyone building in this ecosystem, it's just really important to have that kind of clarity and to be able to leverage the seriousness with which the judge approached it, but also the stability, to create that stability in the ecosystem. So really important for us to have that. It's something that many of us believed for a long time, that the asset, a digital asset in and of itself, is not a security. And so being able to see that in writing in a really important decision was something that I think transforms a lot of the discussions around these kinds of issues about security versus commodity.
Yeah, guys, I think, we have to understand the ruling for XRP wasn't just a ruling for Ripple and XRP in general. It was a ruling for the entire crypto community, right? If Ripple and XRP lost that and XRP was considered a security, the whole industry, you would have seen the biggest black swan event in history for crypto, because everything would have tanked. Guaranteed, right? Because then everything could have been attacked, right? Everything could have been sued. So it is really a big win for the entire industry, all right? So Dr. Martin Heisbiak posted this, 4 slides from yesterday's Stellar.org's Q2 XRM. I guess XLM maybe he supposed to put there. 1 year of MoneyGram access on the Stellar network. You have 180 countries, 300,000 locations, and 0% fees. That is a sexy thing. A 1 year MoneyGram access. Franklin on-chain U.S. government money fund surpasses 270 million AUM. Sorbon preview and release, and we're going to talk about that later in this video real quick. Event activations, consensus, digital commerce conference, and Meridian. Stellar community fund, 184 submissions and $3.2 million awarded. And then you hear Sorbon here. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And then Vibrant focused on fully launching referrals and Quest program to continue the Dive user acquisition and retention. New ramp Payfora allows users in Mexico and 10 other countries to on-ramp with a card. New partner Bitwage allows employees and freelancers to get paid in USDT and cash out directly to their bank account in Argentina. 35% monthly active user growth quarter over quarter, largely due to the launch of referral and Quest. 40% transaction count growth quarter over quarter, mainly attributed to new user acquisition campaigns, guys. Fantastic job. And I thought this was a great little insight here, guys. Check this out. You have application layer, services and optional components. You have protocol layer, network layer, and infrastructure layer. And it just tells you kind of where all of these different things fit, right? DApps, decentralized applications, allowing application hosting, programmable languages, data feeds. It's just a really good visual to understand kind of where all of these different things fit into the Web3 ecosystem. So I thought this was valuable and I wanted to show you. So Sorbon is getting released. Check us out. Today we're announcing Sorbon's solution to one of blockchain's biggest hurdles, state bloat. Check us out.
My name's Aaron and I'm an engineer at the Stellar Development Foundation. Recently, we've been working on Sorbon, the Stellar Network's smart contract platform. And today, I'd like to talk to you about state expiration, a solution to the state bloat problem. State bloat is an issue that affects the Stellar network and all blockchains today. Now, one of the key advantages of blockchains is that every transaction and all transaction data is recorded indefinitely on the public ledger. However, as more and more transactions occur, the database is continually growing in size, and these networks just can't keep up. Eventually, these databases will become too large and make the network very expensive and very slow. This is a foundational issue in blockchains, and is one of the reasons why we've struggled to reach mass adoption in blockchain today. The ecosystem is making sure that the Sorbon platform is future-proof, which means that as Sorbon scales, it needs to maintain its performance. The solution: state expiration. With state expiration, each piece of storage must pay rent to stay live on the ledger. Once an entry runs out of rent, it expires. There are two types of storage exposed: temporary storage and persistent storage. With temporary storage, once an entry runs out of rent and expires, it's deleted permanently. It can never be accessed again. With persistent storage, when it expires, it is deleted, but can be restored later and reused again. State expiration has been talked a lot about in theory, but no one has been able to do it in practice yet. The issue is, for smart contract platforms that already exist and already have lots of dApps developed for them, it's almost impossible to retroactively apply state expiration. But because Sorbon is a brand new platform, Sorbon can implement state expiration technology from day one with no backward compatibility issues. As Sorbon scales, you'll feel the benefits, as the Stellar network will remain inexpensive, efficient, and decentralized. If you want to learn more about state expiration, or even better.
So you don't really need to the rest of that, but check it out. So this is one of Stellar's developers that are building on the Stellar Development Foundation, right? That's kind of like the XRP Foundation. They help with, developers and grants and all that stuff, right? So Stellar Development Foundation delivered on our roadmap. Utility is growth exponent. From Sorbon to FTIDA collaboration, we're bringing with pride. Let's explore. Check us out, guys.
One of the most interesting things to me actually about Sorbon development thus far is the fact that it's all been done in the open. So 10 preview releases, definitely unheard of. Since we started last year, ecosystem devs, they've been encouraged to tinker and build. They've been invited to join development and design discussions, and all of that has been happening in public on the Stellar Dev Discord. There have been so many ideas, so many contributions, so much feedback coming in from so many different voices. And even though that level of democratic access is kind of inherently messy, it's been a really wonderful thing to watch. And the result is much, much better, and it came way, way faster than it would have if SDF engineers had tried to build something like this in a silo. It takes a village, people. Speaking of a village, because Sorbon has been built in the open, and because ecosystem devs have been hacking away throughout all 10 preview releases, we've actually seen something pretty remarkable happen. A viable ecosystem of smart contracts projects has been built alongside the platform itself. So at this moment, there are over 70 projects building on Sorbon that I personally know about.
Damn.
And there are likely many more that I don't, which means that come mainnet launch, we can expect a thriving ecosystem. So if you are a developer, you don't need to wait for building blocks. They're here right now, ready for you. Now, there's still a chance to be a part of that first wave of developers. You'll be in good company and will equip.
So he talks about get there now, or you're going to have to be in the second wave. But this is good, guys, right? You want to see different use cases being developed by Stellar, right? This smart contract functionality allow all kinds of different things to happen with tokenization of assets, creating assets, and all kinds of things. So this is really good for Stellar, right? Because they need to build around new use cases for the XLM token, right? Like XRP is working on tokenization, real estate, and all this other stuff, right? So it's good to see Stellar working on it. And then you have Jeremy Allaire, who is the CEO of Circle. USDC remittance and cash out expands into Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, and the UK. Beautiful, through the partnership with Honeycoin app. That's really good news. Here you go. We're excited to share. Honeycoin app users can now cash out their USDC balance, and supported by MoneyGram locations and all these locations. So that's really fantastic. And then 350 million people in Africa don't have access to bank accounts, and 20% of families have formal bank accounts. It's FondBank, I think this is FondBank, provides a real world solution to this problem by turning 8 billion active prepaid SIM cards globally into virtual debit cards with Stellar. Once users load prepaid airtime credits onto FondBank wallets, those credits are on-ramped onto Stellar network, digitized into tokens named MIN, which can then be turned into USD coin. I think it's an opportunity for solutions like ours, in combination with Stellar, to make a big difference and help the next 2 billion humans join the digital financial world, guys. And then we're going to finish off with a clip from Cyprus Demonicor, 16 trillion in token tokenized assets by 2030 is exactly why they don't want you involved. And personally, guys, I think it's going to be more than this, right? You know, with quantum computing coming into play here, I think the SWIFT network is very vulnerable. And that's why they're rushing to kind of CBDCs all over the world. 93% of countries are working on CBDCs. And I think quantum computing might play a role in this, right? And this is why they want to get all of this value on a much safer, secure blockchain network. That way it maybe can't be, you know, screwed with, stolen, or anything like that, right? So keep that in mind, right? We're moving, and quantum computers are going to be on the forefront of, you know, businesses and bad actors alike, right? Check this out. Let's play this, guys. If you've learned something, if you're growing, please feel free to subscribe. It's free for you. 40% of you watch my videos constantly and are not subscribed. I'd appreciate it. We're trying to get to 11,000 subscribers, and we can't do that without your help. And if you are a member and you've been leaving amazing contents down in the chat, thank you so much, guys. I love you all. I appreciate your support.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good weekend. Got some good CyberX research for you with some stellar connections. We got this company, Securrency. If you go up to the top of their website, it says global liquidity and financial freedom for all. Yet they're still trying to keep this secluded from mainstream media outlets. Why? Because they know what's coming. Powering the global digital asset marketplace. We see right here they're projecting $16 trillion in digital assets tokenized by 2030. We also see 77% of these financial institutions agree most securities will be digitized in the next 5 to 10 years. On their website, it says this particular Securrency platform meets the high regulatory liquidity and performance requirements of market-leading financial institutions. On the bottom of their website, you can see right here their partners, and it says Stellar, paying attention. Now, also, what else do we see? Them talking about the Securrency's capital market platform. It says, by harnessing the power of blockchain technology to automate compliance and streamline financial transactions, Securrency is helping financial institutions overcome capital markets and challenges to unlock the value of digital assets. Pay attention to detail. They're going to continue to try to fudge you out because, again, they know what's coming. We also see them talking about their platform description, hyper-scalable, secure blockchain infrastructure. Remember, we've talked about them building the new financial infrastructure. This is part of it. We see right here, the microservices-based architecture easily plugs into popular distributed ledgers such as Ethereum virtual machine-based ledgers and Stellar. Interoperability among ledgers is enabled through a series of unique patent bridges that allow tokens to easily move across digital ledgers and legacy systems while retaining their inbuilt compliance characteristics. This is absolutely massive, beautiful Stellar connection. Happy Sunday. Hope you all are.
Guys, you need to pay attention to Stellar, right? You know, it is fourth in line on my list of cryptocurrencies, but, you know, I do think it's going to rise with XRP when it does. And I think there's a lot of really cool use cases now being built out on Stellar. And I'm very excited for the future holding Stellar in my crypto bags. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, please feel free to like the video and subscribe if you're not. I love you so much. I will see you in the next video, guys. I got a ton of content coming just for you.